सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भगवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। नैन्थ श्लोक। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशम् गुडाकेशः परन्तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः। तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासु न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः। We have seen Arjuna came to the discovery of fundamental problem from being caught with the topical problem, incidental problem, and he discovered that this basic sense of limitation which makes me uncomfortable continues to be there. Whatever I get or whatever I get rid of, I continue to have some basic sense of limitation. In Tamil, they say korai, you know that lacuna. So that korai, this lacuna is there, and it is not a comfortable feeling. In psychology, they call normosis. Normosis means what? Normally, what everybody anxiety they have, it's called normosis. So everybody has got these some sizes, normosis. Some people have psychosis, little higher. The normosis is there. And he wants to be free from that. And therefore, he requested to Bhagavan to enlighten him, to give him knowledge so that he can be free from this problem of this fundamental sorrow, which continues in one's life. And every now and then it becomes intensified. Then we notice the presence. Like air is all the time there, but when air has got more motion, it is felt as wind. Air was already there. So sorrow is there, but sometimes it becomes intensified and we call it, oh, I have got sorrow now. It was there. And Bhagavan gives the solution to the problem by saying, Panditaha na anushocanti. Wise people do not grieve. Means, if a person has got wisdom, then that person will be free from sorrow. And this is based on the Shruti, Tarati Shokam Atmavit. A person who is Atmavit, the knower of the self, that person becomes free from Shoka, sorrow, crosses over this sorrow. In Bhajagovindam also, Nate Tatve Kas Samsara. When the truth is known, where is samsara? Means there is no samsara, there is no bondage. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna is giving the solution, suggesting the solution for the problem of sorrow. And what is the solution? Wisdom. Wisdom of what? Not physics, chemistry. Wisdom of the truth of everything. It can be called Atmajnanam or Brahmajnanam. So the knowledge of Atma makes the person free from sorrow. So Arjuna, if you want to be free from sorrow, you need Atmajnana. This is the answer given. And behind this answer, one logic is there, and that is Atmajnanam makes me free from sorrow because my sorrow is caused by Atma Ajnanam. Because of the ignorance of myself, ignorance of my true nature is the cause for my sorrow. And how is it so? That we had seen in the last class. Since I do not know myself, therefore I mistake something else to be myself. I am not this body mind sense complex in reality. But since I do not know what my true nature is, therefore I consider this body mind sense complex to be myself. The limitations and the problems of body mind sense complex become my problem. And because of that, there is sorrow. So Atma Ajnanam is the cause for sorrow, and Atma Jnanam is the solution to the problem of sorrow. That is the essence of the teaching, and that is given in this shloka. Therefore, this shloka is called Sankshepa Gita. And here Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, Ashocyan Anvashochaha. You are grieving after something which does not deserve grief. It is something like the child is crying because this balloon after so many days it is burst. Or something which is perishable is perished. It is perishable. If you are drinking, some soft drink and you are taking, then it will be over. Faluda. So you are taking Faluda and you are saying going down, it's supposed to go down. And when it is over, oh my God, it is over. So with great difficulty you bought. Generally you don't buy because part with money is difficult for some people. So they bought one and going down and then crying, oh, it's over. When that type of grief, I am just giving this very exaggerated version. But in the vision of Shastra, there is nothing which really deserves or justifies sorrow. Ashocyan, Shochitum Anharhan. Those which do not deserve grief, you are grieving. And what you are grieving for? You are grieving for these relatives. That by this war, people will die. And they will die because of me. Man nimittam kari te mriyante man nimittam. They are dying because of me. And without that, what will be my life? With this idea, you are grieving, but really does not deserve grief. Why? If you see the fact about the body mind sense complex of anyone, body especially, that body is perishable. The perishable will perish, isn't it? Perishable will perish. That's why it's called perishable. The fruits are perishable. Therefore, they will perish, will be destroyed. Similarly, this body also is perishable. And still, there is grief on the part of ignorant people. So, Bhagavan says, Ashocyan anvashochaha. You are grieving after something which does not deserve any grief. Generally, we think that if certain things happen, person should be sad. We have this particular idea that if some death is there in the house, then all family members must be sad. Sometimes it is not true, isn't it? Sometimes people are waiting. They will say Swamiji is suffering and therefore let them, Swamiji, let him be released or something. Really, you want to be released. That person doesn't have any sense. So he is not suffering. You are suffering. So outside you may cry also. The family members may cry because when people come for a condolence meeting, they have to cry. I don't know how they managed to cry also. I have seen one lady, she was just talking and somebody came to for condolence, started crying and again went back. It's normal. I remember some years ago, I was amazed. Like crying also is like one thing to be done. So they cried. What have they managed? Anyway, so Bhagavan says that Arjuna, you are grieving after something which does not deserve grief. But if it does not deserve grief, why grief comes? Because of your misunderstanding about those things, your misunderstanding about yourself, your misunderstanding about the whole situation. Something does not deserve grief, but because of your wrong understanding, there can be grief. You see something and you evaluate something in a particular way, therefore you feel sorrow. But afterwards you came to know that was not the reason. I mean, what really you thought happened had never happened. And in the vision of Vedanta, everything is like this. Everything is asocha. But still you are anvashochaha. And if wisdom is there, sorrow will not be there. If sorrow is there, wisdom is not there. So you are grieving means what, you don't have wisdom. But prajnavadamsha bhasase. But you are talking like a wise person. You are grieving, therefore you don't have wisdom. Because wisdom and grief don't go together. So you don't have wisdom because you are grieving, but you are talking like a wise person. Means what? You have not got real wisdom. You have not assimilated wisdom. Your understanding about the whole thing is incomplete, distorted. That is the message. Prajna Vadamsha Bhasase. And sometimes person may be talking very high. Atma is Brahman. Brahman is limitless. Limitless is the self. But if this wisdom is not assimilated, then his sorrow will continue. Sorrow is there and talking like a wise person. Means there is a contradiction. Contradiction in the sense that if wisdom is there, sorrow should not be there. But he has got sorrow, and he talks like, claims to have wisdom. There is a gap. There is some disconnect. It is something like Pujya Swami used to tell the story that birds are generally caught in the net by that fowler. You know, the one who catches bird catcher. And one person thought, let me educate these parrots. If I educate them, then they will not commit mistake. So he taught what? Hunter is around, be careful. Hunter is around, be careful. Parrots very good in learning. So they learned. Hunter is around, be careful. Started repeating. So one hunter, this fowler came along with his friend. And this friend heard this. Hunter is around, be careful. So he told Hunter, today you will not get anything. Why? See, they are telling, Hunter is around, be careful. Hunter said, I know that they are parrots. He threw the net and one by one started coming. Well, coming also they are chanting what? Hunter is around, be careful. Caught in the net also. Chanting what? Hunter is around, be careful. So that is the case with some people. More than some people, most of the people. So it means wisdom either it is not there or it's like these parrots. Even though they are telling hunter is around, be careful, but they are not careful. Like some people, they are yoga consultant. So they will advise others how yoga is very good, good for your health. It will reduce this, it will reduce this, all this. But they themselves don't do yoga, put on a lot of weight. So, so that's not correct. So wisdom is not assimilated. So Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you are talking like a wise person, but you are grieving. And there is a contradiction. Unmattaha, Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, you are like Unmatta. The mad people doesn't have consistency in their behavior and talking. They will say so many disconnected things. So Arjuna, you are like this. And why I am saying that there is a contradiction in your behavior? Because Panditaha. Pandita means wise people. The Pandita word is sometimes used in the sense of scholar. We say Sanskrit Pandita. This Nyaya Pandita. So Pandita word is sometimes used in the sense of scholars. And in North India, Pandita means any Brahmin is called Pandita. Even though he is uneducated. कुछ भी नहीं यार alphabets also they cannot write. But still they will be addressed as what? Pandit. Pandit ही बोलते हैं. So here Pandita doesn't have this particular community. Pandita doesn't have the meaning of Sanskrit scholar, this Nyaya scholar, not that. Pandita means Panda, Atma Vishaya Vidya, Jata Yasya. One who has got Panda is called Pandita. Here Panda is not Mathura Panda. There are some priests, some types of priests, they are called Panda in Mathura and all this. Here Panda means self-knowledge. So Pandita means one who has got self-knowledge. Self-knowledge means what? He knows what really the self is. That person is called Pandita. And those Panditas, na anushochanti, do not grieve. After what? Gatasun. Gatasun means dead. Asun means prana. So, wise people do not grieve after the people who have departed, means who are dead and gone. Means some people died. They do not grieve because they say, wise people, what is understanding? Perishable has perished. Diable is died. I don't know, diable is a word, but we can make it. Destroyable is destroyed. Perishable is perished. I remember Puja Swamiji when he was in Sandipani Ashram, and somebody has given very nice China set, tea set. And Brahmachari was given the duty that you bring tea, and he was very conscious. Some people must have told very expensive China set, tea set, tea set. So he was very conscious. And when you are conscious, you commit mistakes. That is a general rule. It's called commander syndrome. In army language, they call it commander syndrome. Means what? When high commander comes, the soldiers they get a little excited, anxious. Therefore, they commit mistakes. Every day they are doing parade properly. That day they will commit mistakes. Left, right, right, left हो जाता है. So, commander syndrome. So, a person was very anxious, and because of that, it fell down and it was broken. And Brahmachari was, must be feeling so bad about it, maybe shivering or something. Puja Swamiji said only this statement: perishable is perished, breakable is broken. He used the word breakable is broken. And therefore, what? Gatasun na anushochanti. The wise people do not grieve after those who have departed. Means some people died and they appreciate that this person had done a lot of contribution in my life. We are thankful to the person. He may even pray for this better gati for that person. That is all right. That is an action. But reaction in the form of sadness does not happen. It is not that a wise person is there, therefore if you tell him he died. Okay. It's not like that. It is not that he is like a stone. Means he will not respond at all. You tell him that my son got first rank. Okay. Then after a few days, my son died. Okay. That is not a wise person. We are not expecting wise person to be insensitive. Wise person to be stone-like person. No, that is not required. Then what is the use of being a human being? So they may appreciate the contribution of the person, remember fondly, pray for the person, but na anushochanti. They cannot feel without this person my life is a void. That thing doesn't come. People say, no, Swamiji died, my life is finished. Some people say like this: Swamiji, there is a big void in my life. My life is now is incomplete without that person. That is not there. Missing is missing in the life of a wise person. Missing will be missed, means it will not be found. Gatasun na anushochanti. Not only people who are gone, things gone, situations gone, status gone. Na anushochanti. Some people, Swamiji, I am not having grief regarding the people who are departed. I am having the problem with the people who are there. गया तो गया स्वामी जी, अभी तो याद भी नहीं है मुझे. I don't even remember. My problem is, Swami, the people who are there at home, I have to handle them. They are crazy fellows. So, agata soon. The people who are not departed. I wish them to be departed, but they are not departed. I cannot tell also I wish them. I wish them to depart, but in the heart there is some unconscious prayer going on. वो भी छूटे हम भी छूटे. So let them be free, let me be free. So regarding that, at least Swamiji, I should have sorrow. I don't have sorrow, Swamiji, if they die, I don't have sorrow. But I have sorrow regarding the people who are not dead, means who are not departed. Bhagavan says, Panditaha agata sunscha na anushochanti. They do not grieve even after those who have not departed. So Gata soon refers to the past. Agata soon refers to the present and future. All three put together, we can say wise people do not grieve after any past event, present event, or future event. Some people are worried about future so much. What will happen? What will happen? Now, one fear is what? COVID wave. I think fourth wave. We have even lost the count. So fourth wave will come. Fourth wave will come. And fourth wave will come. It comes. It comes. Three have come. Still you are here. So fourth wave come. Most likely it will not come. Let me say that it will not come because you know why it will not come? Because all of have developed immunity and booster also have come. So double security we have. So it is very unlikely. Unlike China, they protected so much. Therefore, what they don't did not develop so much immunity. The zero tolerance policy was there, and so did not get protection. Now afterwards, that there was so much opposition was there. Therefore, they all of a sudden they dropped that policy. It is something like somebody is highly remaining highly protected atmosphere, and all of it you make the person exposed to the all challenges. He will be crushed. I mean, this by the way, yeah, we are not the expert. That may be something different also. But idea is that worry is about the future. What will happen? It is called fear of tomorrow. The fear of tomorrow. And some people have that fear of unknown. If some unknown situation they have to handle, they are very frightened. New situation. Or sometimes they have got unknown fear in the sense, another meaning of unknown fear is something will happen. That also is unknown fear. Something will happen. I feel something will happen. Why? Why they develop such fear? Because in their life they have faced so many difficulties. And now things are going relatively okay. So they cannot accept the fact that things can be okay. So in some ashram it used to happen that for few months, every month there was some problem. Then afterwards in the ashram, people used to wait, this month what is going to happen? Because every month something used to happen. So this month what? News item chahiye. So, so fear of unknown. What will happen? Which is Swamiji very nicely said. I really love that. When some function is there, people say, Swamiji, what will happen? What will happen? He said, something will happen. And we will go through that something. That's all. See, one thing is very useful to remember. Bhagavan never gives you the challenge which you cannot handle. Bhagavan never gives you the challenge which you cannot handle. When you cannot handle, you become unconscious. Even physical pain, when you cannot handle, you become unconscious. So that is the expression of unbearable pain is a wrong expression. How can you say, Swamiji, I had unbearable pain? You bore it. No. How can you say unbearable? Yeah, I understand what you may want to say, but really it's not technically it's not a correct word. You are bearing that pain and you say unbearable. If it's unbearable, how did you bear it? See, sometimes we use high words and make our problem little more intense. Don't use big words for small situation. Some people have the habit hyperbolic, always they use big words. Most of the time, I don't want to be like that. Always I generally I have the habit. That's what I'm telling. Generally I have the habit. I don't use extreme words. You have pain, you say yes, pain is there. You can say little more pain is there. Don't use such word unbearable and all this. Pain is there. It is difficult to bear. Very difficult to bear. These are objective expressions. So Bhagavan will never give you the pain or any challenge which you cannot handle. If the very challenge is given, you should feel good about it. You know why? Because Bhagwan thinks you capable of handling the challenge. I remember when I met with an accident when I was in the ashram, a scooter accident. Then my Swamiji came and told, I am happy that it has happened to you. I consider as a credit. You imagine, otherwise, if you misunderstand, oh, the Swamiji, my teacher wants me to have accident. What he meant was that I trust your capacity to handle it. So you should feel good about it. Yes, in a way, good. Silver lining we can see is that Bhagwan considers me to be capable. Like some children know who have got some difficulties. So to whom these children are given, whom Bhagwan trusts that they will take care. So it is a way of seeing. So wise people, being wise, of course they have got higher basis to neutralize the sorrow. They do not worry about the future. They do not regret about the past. They don't miss the past. Many people know they remain in old situation only. Oh, this happened, this happened. Either happy thing happened or unhappy thing. But living in the past. This happened. Somebody he harassed me like anything. At least this is over now. Let it go. Nani Swamiji, but he really harassed me. Why? Why are creating the reasons for sorrow? It's over now. But some people they hold on to the problems because sometimes ego finds its security in holding on to some pain so that it can survive, it can draw the attention. Some people have got this problem of having this continuity of disease because disease is there, they will be given attention, and therefore unknowingly they want it to continue. Similarly, somehow or the other, we find some reasons to complain. Some people know if they can't complain, they will not digest their food for that day. एटलीस्ट एक कंप्लेन तो करना ही पड़ेगा. जैसे डाइजेस्टिव टेबलेट होता है ना, वो हजमोला वगैरह. सो there is one tablet hajmola. Hajmola means for digestion. I don't know in South India it is there, something like that. It must be there. So without that, without complaining, they cannot digest their food. So at least you can see that many things are very positive. Something will always be having some difficulties. No, they find out some reasons to complain. And I have seen some people, they cannot appreciate anything good. They can only complain. Only comment they can have is complain. If something went right, no. One lady was telling me, I think I must have told. He said, Swamiji, my husband, no, if I cook well, he doesn't say anything. But if I commit a small mistake, he will fight. He will point out. Then she must have asked her husband, why you are doing like this? When I do good, at least you say good. He said, what is that? It will be good only. It has to be good. That's not a correct approach. So what I want to say is that we hold on to these problems. Wise people let the past go. It happened. It is already over. Past can bother you when you give the strength to the past to bother you. If you do not give the power to bother you, the past cannot do anything. It's already past. And future creates seems to create problem. The thoughts of future seems to create problem because either many reasons. One of them is we do not trust our capacity. We do not trust Ishvara. And of course, we do not have this self-knowledge, assimilated self-knowledge. When it is there, na anushochanti. This is a very, very important this sentence. Panditaha na anushochante. If we keep this in our mind, whenever sorrow comes, we say that why is this sorrow? Any sorrow has its root in misunderstanding and non-understanding. Any sorrow. And that's why Bhagavan says here, Panditaha nanu shochanti. And here, even from pragmatic person's view, if we look at sorrow does not help the person who is suffering. Suppose my relative is suffering. If I become sad, will it help the person? Will it help the person? In fact, if I am not sad, I am objective, then I can help better. You become sad is understandable, but you need not have the pressure to be sad. Oh, I should be sad. Why am I not sad? You need not have this pressure. So sorrow does not help the person who is suffering. And sorrow does not help you also. Suppose somebody is sad, somebody is having some issue, health issue or dying, then your becoming sad does not help you. How will it help you? You will not be able to handle situation appropriately. Therefore, from a pragmatic angle also, if we see, the sorrow does not have legitimacy. But this does not mean we are saying that to be sad is improper. We are not saying that. You need not have guilt about having sorrow. If you have sorrow, it is understandable but not justifiable. There is a difference between something being understandable and something being justifiable. Justifiable means what? Person should have had sorrow. Person should have sorrow. That is called justification of sorrow. But if a person is ignorant, he or she will have sorrow. That is called seeing situation understandable. So here Bhagavan is not giving advice. Arjuna, you should not be sad. It is improper to be sad. Now onwards, don't have sorrow. We are not giving advice. Last class also we saw this advice is very harmful. To advise somebody, to instruct somebody, don't be sad. It's not correct thing. Why? Because you can give advice to someone only if that person has a choice. If somebody has got Parkinson and is moving on like this, you cannot say you keep it steady. He doesn't have a choice. Somebody else has difficulty, so eyes will be moving a little faster. He doesn't have a choice. And when a person does not have choice, you cannot give instruction. Instruction has a value only when a person has a choice. I cannot give you instruction. Stop breathing from now onwards. You can say, Swamiji, I can do pranayama for a few seconds. I can do it. I can oblige you. But no. So instruction has no value when other person doesn't have choice. And moreover, your instruction is not required because other person also doesn't want to be sad. He finds himself sad. Therefore, we are not here, or Bhagavan Sri Krishna is not giving advice not to be sad. That advice will make the person more sad. You know what? I am very sad, Swamiji, that I am very sad. You ask me not to be sad, but what to do, Swamiji? I am sad. I will try not to be sad. So you are sad that you are sad. So you have double sadness. So don't give such instruction. At least don't give pressure to yourself. Others you don't give, and don't have the pressure. I should not be sad. From today onwards, I should not be sad. What is this? Bhagavan said, Pandita Anam Shocha. Hey, you are not Pandita. That's all. Accept that fact. Here we are not giving advice. What we are saying, what Bhagwan is saying is, your sorrow does not have legitimate reason. You have sorrow because of your wrong perception. Therefore, you need to inquire into your sorrow and its cause. Understand your sorrow. Inquire the nature, the causes of sorrow. Then you will be free from sorrow. So we are not saying that you should not have sorrow. We say you inquire into the nature of sorrow. What makes you sad? In fact, any sadness in any area is indicating that in that particular area, I have some misunderstanding. Any area of your pain, not pain, any area of sorrow, even pain also we can include. Any area of sorrow indicates that you have some misunderstanding, some negligence, some non-understanding. This I learned, I was telling somebody that I learned this from dentist. Dentist told me this. When I went for my cleaning, teeth cleaning, then she was putting this, the machine, that cleaning device, and it will be painful, you know that. I'll do that. And she told a very nice statement. What? Swamiji, wherever there is pain, that is the area you should have brushed well. She did not mean any philosophical sense, but I really derived philosophical sense from that. Any area which pains you is the area where you need to pay attention. Pay attention. Your area of sorrow is your area requiring attention. Because you have some misunderstanding, some negligence of that area. Even in your health, generally, not all the time, generally you get health issue in some area because you neglected that part. फैट क्यों बढ़ जाता है? थोड़ा खाने में ध्यान नहीं रखा. So you did not pay attention in your eating. Something. So idea is that wherever there is pain, you throw the light of understanding. You have some misunderstanding, some wrong value, some wrong attitude, which requires correction, which requires attention. Therefore, we are not saying that you should not be sad, but when you are sad, you just inquire what is causing sadness. And if you have some Vedantic background, every sadness you will trace it back to ignorance, and ignorance born wrong conclusion. That is what is said here. Gatasuna gatasumsha nanu shochanti pandita. If you have wisdom, there is no sorrow. Why? Because when I know myself to be what I am, then I have this vision that I am complete, I am full, I am asangaha, and anything in the world cannot touch me. I am satyam, everything is not satyam, and asatyam cannot touch satyam. Then why so many this problem comes? Problem comes because what you are not, you have taken yourself to be. Anatma is taken to be Atma, and therefore you have problem. As what you really are, as Atma, you don't have any problem. You are ever free from problem. But you have imported problems, like imported quality. Our sorrow is imported quality sorrow. Why? Because sorrow doesn't belong to you. Sorrow is there in the body mind sense complex. Sorrow is there, the problems are there in the body mind sense complex. You have transferred them to yourself. Some people over assume responsibility and they suffer because of that. So that is the problem here. What I am not, I am mistaking it to be myself. And because of that, there is sorrow. And wise people are free from that misunderstanding. Therefore, na anushochanti. Thus, in the vision of Vedanta, our problem is because of the mixture of the self and non-self. Atma, Anatma, Aviveka is the cause for the problem. That mix-up has caused the problem. So what is the solution? Separating them. Atma, Anatma, Viveka is the solution. And that is being given from the next sloka. Nattvevaham jatu nasam.
Nattvevaham jatu nasam.
Natvam neme janadhipaha.
Natvam neme janadhipaha.
न चैव न भविष्यामः
न चैव न भविष्यामः
सर्वे वयमतः परम्
सर्वे वयमतः परम्.
So Bhagavan said to Arjuna that Ashocyananva Shochastvam, you are grieving after something which really does not deserve grief. How is it so? And how wise people are free from sorrow? They are free from sorrow because of wisdom. What is that wisdom? That is being given from the 12th sloka. And that wisdom starts with the separation, viveka of Atma and Anatma. And the Atma Anatma Viveka is based on the principle of Drik Drishya Viveka. Drik Drishya Viveka means separation of the seer seen, knower known. And what is the principle? Whatever I am aware of, I am different from that. Yadrishyam tadanatma. Whatever is knowable, objectifiable, that I am different from. Like this pencil. I am aware of this pencil, I am different from pencil. I am aware of the book, I am different from the book. Regarding these things, we don't have problem. Nobody thinks I am a pencil. Thank God. Sometimes some psychological problem, they think I am a cockroach, etc. But they are called abnormal people. We have two psychology. The books have two psychology. Normal psychology, abnormal psychology. So this abnormal psychology, people will have this problem. Normal psychology people will not say I am pencil, I am cockroach. No. If somebody has this problem, they should not attend Vedanta class. Swamiji, my son is thinking I am cockroach. Swamiji, please help him. I cannot help him. He requires specialist. Specialist means specialist in some special branch. Psychiatrist or psychologist. Vedanta is addressing the people with normal psychology. Vedanta, some people think that my these relatives have become crazy, mad, or something. Whatever they use the word hallucination, etc. This Vedanta will not help because that person is not in the position to even receive the vyavaharika, empirical. How can we talk about the paramarthika, the ultimate? Therefore, we should not think that oh, Gurukul mein jaake my relative problem will be solved. We have to tell them, you please take them. So here, Bhagavan is separating these two. I am different from anything which I am aware of. And as we saw that with reference to external objects, we don't have confusion. Even your spouse, however dear to you, your child, very dear to you, but still you have got the awareness, I am different, my child is different. I am different, my spouse is different. So you don't say that one ticket में दोनों बैठ जाएंगे. So so two separate ticket you have to take. But when it comes to the body, there is a confusion. Even the body I am aware of, but I consider myself to be this body. I don't say I am the body. Somebody asks me, who are you? I don't say I am the body. You may not say I am the body, but your conclusions about yourself indicate this mistake. How? You say I am fat. These fat people, they generally don't like to be called fat. बहुत खराब लगता है. One person, indirectly I suggested something, that person got very angry. I was telling in lighter way, but it's not correct. In fact, as per norms also, it's not etiquette. In our Shastra also, somewhere it is said that based on the body, comment should not be made. So sometimes we lose that. We should not say somebody is very thin, oh, stick. You don't say. It's not correct. Somebody is walking with difficulty and all. We are not supposed to make any comment. But sometimes because of some closeness we make and then we understand it is not proper. But if somebody says that, oh, fatty fellow or something, then if you are having this, what is called understanding, then you say, yes, body is fat. But you consider what? I am fat. In fact, there is a dress. I saw one advertisement. Dress to hide your belly fat. You wear the dress in such a way so you will not look fat. ये भी गजब की बात. My God, how much people have to do it? I have got wrinkles. I am just giving the example. Wrinkles, and I want to hide wrinkles. Therefore, they do the plastic surgery, and plastic surgery is very expensive. One person went to plastic surgeon. बोले कि how much is surgery will cost? बोले 5 lakhs. बोले कि plastic हमसे देंगे. If I give plastic, how much it will? He thought they must be putting plastic. Anyway, that apart. So, how much person has to do to hide certain features of the body? In fact, when this makeup is not there, how person looks and makeup is there, oh, this makeup, how different he looks and he wants to look, and there is a etiquette that without makeup person will not come out. Some celebrities and they will not come out. This is because I have identification with the body. How much Puja Swami used to say, this complex, any complex is very costly. It costs you a lot. Not only financially cost you, it costs you psychologically. Always you have to remember that I have put up makeup. Then therefore you should not cry also. So if you cry, that all thing, the black thing or white thing will come out. You have to be very careful. So body I am aware of, and therefore I am not the body. But because of ignorance and ignorance born wrong conclusion, this is the wrong conclusion we have. What? I am as good as the body is. Another thing is, people do not like to be called by the name which implies that he or she is old. In olden days, we used to call uncle. Now people don't like to be called uncle. They say, call me by name. Hey, your uncle जैसे लगते हैं, आपका एज क्या है? अरे एज नहीं बताऊंगा. I will not tell you the age. What is this? You look like uncle. I think I must have told that when I was 25 and I was in the ashram and I used to go to the garden, the children used to call me Dadaji, Dadaji. Dada means Tata. I was 25. Tata. What is it? I used to enjoy that fact. Wow, see, I some people say Gandhi Babu, Gandhi Babu. But so it's complex, based on the body, based on the eyes. This is another thing that people have to wear contact lens. Why? Like people should not know I have got glasses. People should not know I have got hearing aids. It's so much complex. I am aware of the organs. I am different from the organs. So many complexes. Hair. Hair is not there. But person, they put this, they transplant or something, they plant hair. And I was told that many people die because of that. Right? This hair transplant is happening. People die. Have you heard this? There are cases. And dying is very common now. That hair dying is very common. People don't accept that they have got grey hair. They can't. They say, "Oh, grey hair." So they look sometimes very funny things that they have got full over dark and hair white. So I have seen somebody one Swami was doing that. So somebody Swamiji, you have full hair dark and hair grey. बोले ऐसा प्रश्न नहीं पूछना चाहिए. You should not ask that question. See how much we make our life complicated. Really speaking, life is very simple. I always tell that life is very simple. We make it complicated and suffer. We are making a recipe for suffering. After life is suffering, life is simple. Simple means what? You see facts as fact. Body is growing, therefore it has got dark, it has got grey hair. Accept. Is a fact. Why should we? In fact, it is a good grey hair. In Puja Swamiji used to say that grey hair means you have got experience. तो हिंदी में जो बोलते हैं कि ये सफेद बाल है ना, वो व्हाइट कलर नहीं किया है. I have earned it. This grey hair, you have earned it. You cannot, a person cannot wish it. Okay, this is our current, let me have white hair. I mean, it will look nice. It doesn't happen. Unless, I don't know, white dye भी नहीं मिलता होगा. One brahmachari, he was complaining this. Swamiji, I am 45, but I look very young. And therefore people don't take me seriously. So he wanted to look older. This is the only complaint I have heard. Every this complaint. He was looking very young. So he wants to look older. Very rarely we hear this, but this also for example's sake I got it. Make it simple. Dasharatha Raja, it is said that when he was combing his hair, looking at the mirror, and he saw one grey hair. And that day he thought, now it is time to retire. The modern Dasharatha Raja, what? Oh, I have to go for dying. That is the difference between the Satyuga and Kali Yuga. Accept the fact, this is how the hair is, this is how the body would be. Why we are not accepting? Because we are identifying with the body. We are judging ourselves based on what the body is. Alright. Similarly, sense organs. And the next one is the mind. Mind also is something I am aware of. Therefore, the mind also is what? Non-self. Whatever I am aware of, I am different from that. So the mind is something I am aware of, objectifiable. Do you know what is happening in your mind right now or not? When class will be over, that thought is coming. You are aware of that, even though you may be smiling, but you are aware of that. Sometimes you are inside very angry with your boss, but outside you have to keep smiling. But you are aware of your anger. Even though you may pretend something different, but you know what your mind is. So, you are someone who is aware of your mind. But what is the mistake we do? We consider mind itself to be I. In fact, that is a stronger problem. And based on that, I make a judgment. Swamiji, my mind is restless. My mind is every now and then getting disturbed. My mind is not steady, not thinking in a steady manner. My mind, if you say, no problem. I am not thinking steadily. I am disturbed. I am restless. Therefore, sorrow. And Vedanta says that whatever you are aware of, you are not. So You are someone who is aware of the mind. Therefore, you are not the mind. The properties of the mind, like pain, etc., belongs to the mind. You are Sakshi, you are the witness of the mind which has got pain. You are witness of the ignorance which is experiencing the intellect. People have another complex, and that is the complex of being uninformed in some area. Nowadays, if you don't know computer, you feel very little bit small. Computer, you don't know, cell phone, you don't know how to operate certain functions. You feel small. Why should you feel small? No, no. If English language, suppose you have difficulty, then you people know this. You are not supposed to know all the languages. Many of South Indians, they don't know their own language, but they don't have complex about it. Suppose Tamilian, many Tamilians do not speak Tamil very well. They cannot write Tamil. But regarding that, they don't have complex. But if they don't know English, they try to hide, bypass. Hey, what is there? You don't know. To me, some people said, they got Tamil also. This Swami, you are here for so many years, don't know Tamil. Don't know Tamil. That's how it is. I am aware of the knowledge and ignorance in the mind. I am not knowledgeable. I am not ignorant. I am free from ignorance, obtaining experience in the intellect. If you understand and assimilate this understanding, then you are free from all complexes. Otherwise, a person is a bundle of complexes. So many complexes. Complex regarding the spouse, I have this type of spouse. Complex. Some wives, no, they don't like to introduce their husband because they are not feeling good about their husband. So, बोले कि बात नहीं आना. So, वैसे बोले. So, about their spouse, about children, I have this type of children. So many complexes. Body related complexes, sense organs related complexes, mind related complexes, knowledge related complexes, ignorance related complexes. All complexes are there because you do not know this fact. I am the witness of all of them. I am free from all of them. Who am I? I am aware of all of them. By myself, who am I? I am the content of awarer called awareness, which is otherwise called consciousness. I am consciousness, free from all problems. And I consciousness do not have birth or death. Birth and death belong to the body. I am free from birth and death. That idea is given in this shloka. We'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti